I am a veteran of the Louisiana Army National Guard. I served back in the late 80s and early 90s.
My name is Elizabeth Dameron. I am medically retired from the Marine Corps.
I'm a veteran of the Air Force.
My name is Isaac Thibodeau. I served in the United States Army from 2005 to 2014.
The fact that we've served when our country's asked us to. Veterans don't ask very much of their country because we serve with pride.
I luckily got out of the Air Force without any traumatic PTSD syndrome or anything like that. But I have other ailments that marijuana helps me with.
Due to injuries sustained in Afghanistan, I was medically retired at 27 years old. I'm a graduate of the U.S. Army Airborne School, Ranger School, Special Forces Dive Medical Technician course, and the Warrior Leader course.
I retired with enough meds to fill a 1-gallon storage bag for the invisible injuries. So PTSD, bipolar, anxiety disorder, not otherwise specified because they can't figure it out. Depression, not otherwise specified, to go on top of the physiological injuries, some knee surgery or foot surgeries, knee issues.
Without cannabis, I can't walk. The medications that the doctors had me on left me unable to walk around without losing my balance and falling over.
I've been an advocate for about 25 years. I just like to see the state come to its senses, basically.
This is a cause rooted in the very freedoms that we fight for. It drives me crazy that we do not do more for our veterans. It's not just me. The vast majority of Americans feel we are not doing enough.
We're here today in Baton Rouge to support medical marijuana for our veterans. We think that every veteran should be able to receive medical marijuana.
Here in Baton Rouge at the Capitol building to really support the medical side of cannabis and to really just dispel a lot of myths about the medicine, and the veterans for medical cannabis are near and dear to my heart.
I really think that the brain is a fascinating place. I think it's our own inner universe, and definitely something to be explored. And in doing that and realizing what trying cannabis was doing for me and the ability to heal, it became more of a knowledge pursuit to understand deeper and deeper and deeper why this is working. And that's how I got into this neurological level of psychology and in this endocannabinoid system world, and trying to help other people understand the same thing, that there is real science behind it and there's real healing behind it.
And it is our firm belief that all use of cannabis is medicinal.
I stand before you today as a voice for all veterans in our state. Sadly, many cannot stand here today because they are either unable to get out of their home or fear of prosecution. Veterans and civilians alike are being forced into the shadows to self-medicate with cannabis.
We're here today in the state capital of Louisiana at our lobby day, and we're pushing for new legislation for medical marijuana patients.
And if paired effectively with complementary treatments, cannabis can effectively take care of PTSD. I don't want to say the C word, cure, because that's not empirical science.
Stop trying to reinvent the wheel and give us a program that patients can actually benefit from. Because the way the laws are written right now, it's sad. It's just sad. It's sad that we have so many people suffering. Sad that we have so many veterans dying when there's absolutely no reason for it. So I just implore the legislators to think about anybody that's ever served in a war in their family who could have benefited from this, who they watched die horrible, painful deaths, and now know that that could have been prevented. Not that they would have lived, but at least their suffering would have been relieved.
Decriminalization and total freedom to be able to have marijuana is something that all Americans should have, really. But right now we're talking about medical marijuana for veterans.
I'm basically here to advocate for cannabis because it's helped me get my life back, a life off of opioids for injuries that I have. It helps me to become a college student and get multiple degrees. have a different perspective and help me in life and help me re-engage in society.
We have been sent to war, fought for our lives and our country's freedom, and we live with the physical and mental wounds that are bleeding out. Current treatments for PTSD and chronic pain are damaging to our health, and for many they're ineffective in providing relief. I've personally been prescribed at least 50 different cocktails of prescription drugs that have caused more harm than good. My wife and I left Louisiana to try to settle in Colorado, where I could legally use cannabis as an alternative to prescription drugs. While living there, I found relief far superior to pharmaceuticals. In less than a month, I was able to come off 5 prescription medications, and I felt better than I ever have since returning home from Afghanistan. I was able to live my life to the fullest.
I can move around without a stick even. I don't even need this assistance to walk. And the pain levels are greatly reduced, far better than the medications they had me on. So there's some bills here that are being considered this year in the legislature. Please contact your legislator and tell them we need some sanity in our laws here and an alternative to these dangerous prescription drugs that the doctors are more than willing to give us.
This is something we need to have in front of our legislators. And I think the research is out there, the economics of medical marijuana and recreational marijuana is all out there. Colorado has really paved the way for other states to follow their model. I just feel like there needs to be a whole reframing of the whole conversation as opposed, and not just talk about legalization. We need to talk about social justice in the state. We need to talk about the judicial system and who is being arrested and who is being locked up and how much money that creates for the state. We can shift all those funds to other industries. We don't have to be the number 2 state in prison industrial complex. That's just, I don't think we need to go there.
We have a moral duty to relieve suffering, and that path is not always through pharmaceutical companies. 32 other states have approved medical cannabis, but not in the way that we have. It does not surprise me that Louisiana takes an overregulated approach to medical cannabis. It's been 4 years and still no one has received the relief that cannabis can bring.
Thank you for your service, most of all. Also, congratulations on being proactive in a time when passive intolerance is very strong in our world.
Let's get the stigma erased off of this medicine, because that's what it is. It's a medicine.
There's many of us that are asking, for something that we know that works for us. And we're tired of our brothers that we know lives can be saved. We have, 22, 23 veterans a day committing suicide. We got to stop this carnage. At least, give it a try as an alternative to what they're doing right now.
These are policies that are embraced by the public. They're embraced by law enforcement because a vast majority of at least urban police officers did not become police officers to chase otherwise law-abiding citizens.
But yeah, again, it's like knowledge is power, really. So that's why I'm here.